Running around, they want to be rap stars, they want to be this. Like, come on, bro, I don't want to live like that. Like, it's not life. So when I found Sanda, which was back in Punch Fitness, 2007, I was still in high school. I was probably 16 years old. I got into Sanda around 16. And my first fight was 2011. I was like, I just turned 19 years old. So I was like, okay, cool. My first Sanda fight was at ICMAC, International Chinese Martial Arts Championships. And I literally learned before I even started training with a coach. Funny stories, everything I learned from YouTube. Literally, I can tell you, Expert Village, thank you. I don't know if you guys are still around, but your videos helped me start my whole journey when I couldn't afford training. You know, I was like, dude, I got to start learning something. I would train there, my backyard in a little hut.
That's passion.
With like cement. Like the floor was all cement. So think of, you guys know traditional martial artists, they train on wooden floors. No, I was training on barefoot on cement. So I was constantly banging my feet. Like, oh. It was fun. It was something I learned as a kid, you know what I mean? So you start developing those skills.
Why you change from a Chinese martial art and this way of culture to a Kung Fu martial art, to the Kung Fu family? Because usually they're either way, in even in history tradition, very competitive and pretty much different in approach. And
They're very different in approach, and I always love the Kung Fu.
okay,
Because originally that's what I set out to do.
display it a little bit for our.
For example, what's his term? I'm trying to think of the guy. He's a famous philosopher from China. Oh my God. Can't remember the name. Well, you got Bruce Lee, of course. You got water. So it was the philosophy that China did, that China brought. And just the way, the Shaolin monks, I fell in love with that. Like, oh, wow, you can do all this and still have a wife, have kids, because I started learning more about the warrior monk lifestyle. And that's something that I was like, as a kid, you're researching all this on YouTube, and you're like, hey, there's no Kung Fu schools near me. Okay, I guess I got to settle for something a little close to there until I get to my main goal. So once I got to my main goal, I was like a little kid at a candy store. I mean, I was constantly looking for videos on Sanshao on YouTube. I found Kung Lee. I bought his book, Kung Lee, Shao Fighting System. I still have it. That's like my Bible. I still have it to this day. All the combinations I try to learn, just because it was amazing, amazing.
So, and next question is, especially in the Western world, and very specialty here in the United States, no one wants. Go even nowadays, even more, a traditional way of mutually learning basic stuff, step by step, creating his capabilities, which is a long way. Everyone wants to collect some techniques from all the way around and just add this to this in case of thinking that this might gonna work. So, of course, you said, and this every martial artist should consider that every martial art brings something good to the table. For me, there's no superior martial art. There's no martial art that fits me most, what's for me the best one, and for other ones are the other ones the best one. So what I hear from you, what I learn from you, which is very untypical, especially here in the United States, that someone fell in love with tradition, with mutually learning, going step by step and trying to grow not just his skills, but himself into it. Because you said you addressed very, very precisely and mainly that it's the way they live, the way their spirit is. So why?
Reason why, I was born a preemie. I was supposed to die while I was born. I was born 5 months. They had to my heart.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much a natural born fighter my whole life. I fought my way to live. I mean, what ended up happening. But I love the aspect because it inspires spirituality. At the end of the day, you may be strong physically, but how's your soul? How's your spirit? You could be good here too. I'm not saying you're not good. But how do you feel spiritually? You know what I'm saying? You have all this money, you have all this, you reach that. But how do you feel about it? Does it make you happy? Do you feel complete, or do you feel more want? Do you feel more want than need? Or, you start to question these things where it's like, I want to develop not just myself as a martial artist, but spiritually. Who am I? What am I? What do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? You start questioning things. You have to think outside the box. What I like to say is think outside the box. Because we constantly live in a void where we're taught as minors, even as a businessman, go to school, get a good paying job, get a degree, and start having money. So it's like, okay, we're constantly being pushed that great, oh, go to school, get a college degree, this, that, and third. Is inside, am I gonna be fulfilled?
How do you feel when you obviously very confronted? I can tell here with this mindset, you are almost 20 years younger than I am. I'm gonna turn 53.
I thought you're 42.
No, I'm gonna turn
I don't know,
53.
my license is 42. I don't know.
Generation, you have people like that. It doesn't matter as a human being or in the martial arts world. This is what I appreciate. And these are the guys who will carry on martial arts in the best way, because nowadays, my opinion, I know maybe I'm gonna offend people, but that it's martial arts becoming more and more a sellout, and that's very sad. Do you agree with me?
Oh yeah, it's more like now, even I've passed by traditional karate schools or kung fu schools. If you have enough money, they'll give you the belt. Oh, your black belt, or your black section. Huh? Because I paid you a little extra, you're gonna give me the belt? Why? What did I do to accomplish it? What have you seen improvement in my life? Have you seen growth within me as an individual, not just a person? Because a lot of people don't remember. A lot of people don't think. Yes, we're all people, we're all persons. But at the end of the day, your individuality is what keeps you different from the rest. As an individual, what do you want to accomplish in life? What do you want to do? You have to constantly think outside the box. Not, oh yeah, I just want to be a professional fighter, go to the UFC, and then what? I literally can tell you the amount of fighters, I can list them by name, having to go back to a 9-to-5 job or have to go use a college degree after they put it away for 10 plus years to fight. Think about it. It's like, okay, what are you taught besides the fighting aspect? So the sellouts, yeah, there's a lot.
Okay.